Hello, back again to do another unboxing and review. Today we're going to be looking at this pair of photochromic sunglasses I just got in. In case you don't know, photochromic means that the lenses automatically darken when they're exposed to sunlight. And then once you're out of the sunlight, the lenses lighten up again. So you can wear your sunglasses inside and not look like a try-hard. Alright, so these are made of aluminum and they're rimless, so you don't have a frame around each lens, which looks sleeker, cooler, faster, sportier, kind of like cycle racing type deal. Alright, and these are new for the 2021 year, and the brand, of course, is CoolPandas. So if you're looking to get some of these and you are shopping, make sure that you actually get the CoolPandas one. There are many wannabe fakes out there that aren't built as well as these, apparently. Alright, so here we are. I kind of read all that to you already. And then, yep, oh, that's the colors that the lenses will cycle through depending on how much UV light they're getting. So you go between light gray and full-on black sunglass mode. Alright, so then you have the aluminum frame. Talked about that. UV 400 protection. So it stops those harmful UV rays. Anti-glare. And you have anti-scratch coating on the lenses as well. And now the frame, keep in mind I said the frame, not the lenses, but the frame comes in 3 different color options, which you can read there. Actually all pretty good color choices in my opinion, but keep in mind there are no kind of fun light colors like, you know, baby blues and purples and none of that. Okay, so then anyway, and then that is the particular code number. I'm thinking that might be the model number for these, but anyway. Alright, so let's take a look around the packaging here. This will be short because there's just not much to see on this box. Although it does look pretty classy. So we have, there you go, you see their logo. It reflects light there. Kind of has that metallic sheen to it. Cool. Gold on black, can't argue with that. Alright, and then we have these little icons, you know, suggesting things you could do while wearing these glasses. And that last one, by the way, is for driving. So you can use these while you drive. Alright, and then on the other side, it's the same as this. Here we have nothing, here we have nothing, and then on the front and back we have their logo, CoolPandas. Alright, so with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get to the unboxing. Alright, so it's not sealed, and again, it's just, so let's open this end here. Alright, inside, oh, that's nice. We have a case. It has this leather-like material. The case is a hard case, so it has structure. Protects the glasses inside, and so you can tell the top is a little different from the bottom. So it definitely has a lid and a base. Okay, and then let's see the hinge on the bag. There you go. We have a zipper enclosing it, and then also a loop for hanging from your belt or whatever, coat rack or whatever. Alright, so let's go ahead. Of course, logo up there. And the logo is kind of like the box, right? As far as the reflecting light. Alright, so let's go ahead and open it up. Zipper moves across nice and smooth. And there we are. So, main item, of course. There's some extra accessories down here. Oh, okay. Alright, there's the bottom of the case. Yeah, alright. So, let's start off. I have this, which is probably a little gift from the seller. Alright, thank you. And then the test card, we'll get to that in a second. Here we have a carry bag. I'll go ahead and open that up. There we are. And of course, as you imagine, the bag feels nice and soft. And it does have these little drawstrings. There you go. Keep that there. And then the other thing we got is a cleaning cloth. So this is most likely a microfiber cloth. I'm going to keep this in the bag because I like to keep these clean for obvious reasons. But I will go ahead and fill it just to make sure. Yeah, it's nice and soft and all that. Okay, so, and it does have their name on that as well. Okay, now here's the card. Of course, we'll have to do the test, but yeah, so CoolPandas. And then when we look at that through the lenses, we'll see something that we don't see now, is my guess. Alright, and then there's some directions. It looks to be written in English, and I'm going to guess that's Russian there. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but it looks Russian, right? Okay. Anyway, so here we are. Let's get to the main item. It is in a Ziploc bag. So, okay, and it's a nice thick Ziploc bag too. I am totally fine with Ziploc bags. Some people think it looks like, you know, Mama made you a sandwich type deal, and they make. But for me, if it seals, that's better. So don't care. I'm liking the Ziplocs. Okay, anyway, and now the lenses are actually wrapped. Oh, look at this. So we have a little little sleeve over the bow, and here they are. So I'm gonna feel. This is supposed to be the aluminum. Let me just feel it real quick. Yep. Okay, so that's definitely metal right there. Then I'll have to zoom in here. All right. So on the end of the bows, right there, so the thing that goes by your ear and holds this on the side of your head, you can see it has texture in the form of letters. Now it looks kind of like an R, but I believe that's a P, probably for pandas, right? But yeah, it definitely does give it some grip there. Coming around here to the hinge, very important part, mechanical part, right? So you can see there's a screw on the top there, and then let me zoom. And then on the bottom you can see the little hole where the screw extends through to the bottom. And alright, and there's on the inside of the hinge, you can see there's some more metal there, another screw. Alright, but now let's look at the actual lens. Slide off the protective layer there. And that's actually good. You can see through the lens already. And you see now they actually are relatively clear with, you know, a hint of gray. But overall I'd say it's pretty much a clear lens. You can see the floor there behind. Okay. There you go. Nice strong connection piece between the two lenses, but blends in pretty well. And you can see the rimless, what I was talking about in the beginning of this video, how it does not extend to the bottom of the lenses, giving it that kind of more sporty look. Let's look at the alright, here you can see what you'll have resting on your nose. You have the two pads on those little spindly arms, and of course that all connects to the center here. And again, give you an idea what it looks like to look through them before they darken up. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and weigh these now, and I'll put the weight right here. Alright, so let's go ahead and try the little test card here, the polarized test. So there you're seeing it without the lenses, and now I'll try to make this so it works. There you go. Now you can see those cars that otherwise looked like they weren't there. Yep. Okay. Alright, so there's a front shot of what they look like. There's a side shot. Alright, so I went ahead and just put them on real briefly. They feel lightweight. I can feel their metal. And then what's the other thing? Oh, yeah, they grip on my head really well. Keep in mind though, I have my hair buzzed, so obviously they stick better. But I would assume if they stick that well, they probably still stick kind of well if you have hair. Alright, so before I move on, I thought I'd cover this. As you can see, there are now 2 pairs of glasses down there. So what's going on here is I actually postponed this review until I could get these in. Now you may ask, what are these on the right? Well, they are from, I don't know what brand because it's not listed, so it's an unbranded generic. And everything from the way they looked, even the way they're sold, as far as like the advertisement and whatnot, all are to basically give you the impression that they're these CoolPandas when they are not. So I thought, let's go over what you get by getting CoolPandas over the cheaper, I guess, wannabe. Now, first thing is, you don't get the cool hard shell case that we got with the CoolPandas, but you might say, I don't care about the case, I just care about the glasses. So let's look at the differences. Alright, so first we'll look at this on the CoolPandas. We have this cool traction on the end of the bow. You saw this earlier. On the generic, you can see not only is it not as much of the rubber material, but it also is not textured with the extra design, the 3-dimensional raised bumps and whatnot. Next we have the bows. So on the left you'll see the CoolPandas, and then on the right you have the generic. You can see the CoolPandas have a thicker bow, and not only that, but the bow actually has different geometry as it goes down the length. It starts out wide, gets narrower, then comes wide and kind of does this curve, as where the generic is just a straight piece of metal that's slightly bent at the end towards the rubber portion. Not as fancy. Inside the bow of the CoolPandas, we have that nice channel. Over on the generic, it's just nothing. It's just that, again, flat piece of metal. Alright, so now we're going to move to the one of the mechanical differences. You can see here the CoolPandas, that hinge is kind of hidden. So if I run my finger across here, it's flat. So all that is inside, away from your temple. As where on the generic, you can see you have that unstylish end protruding in hinge. Alright, here on the CoolPandas, you can see the lens, where the lens meets the, I guess, the frame on the right, and on the left, of course. You can see how the lens kind of goes into kind of like a shroud, where we have this whole portion here, which of course is metal, and it's kind of hidden in there, so it's kind of housed. Now over here on the generic, you can see the lens actually just comes out to the end, and then this just is screwed or stapled or whatever into the actual lens itself. So yeah. Alright, now regarding the lens, if you look, I'm trying to hold these up as even as possible. Okay, there we go. So you can see that the CoolPandas, which are on the left, the lens is not only bigger, but it also pitches back towards your face, as where the generic just kind of drops straight down. Anyway, so I guess at this point, the only thing to do is go out and test the photochromic effect, right? So I'll have to go outside and do that. Alright, so in order to determine how well the CoolPandas work as sunglasses, I decided to compare them to, yeah, you guessed it, an actual pair of sunglasses. So if we look here on the left, we have a pair of stylish but normal sunglasses, in that the amount of tint to the lens does not change no matter what environment you're in. Light, dark, doesn't matter. Now if you look over at the right, there of course are the CoolPandas, and they have transitioned to their darker state as they have been outside in the sun when this picture was taken. Alright, so now to determine what one has a darker tint, the way to do that would be just naturally you would try to look through the lens, and whatever one's harder to see through would be the darker tint. Now that would be the way going about it, but it doesn't quite work here because there's one other factor that we have to take into account. It's not just the deepness of the tint, but also the amount of reflection. So if you look over on the actual sunglasses there on the left, you'll notice you can see in the reflection, I believe, what's that, part of the table, there's some trees, and if you look up high enough, you can even see there's a sky and some clouds. So there's a considerable more reflection on the actual sunglasses than there are on the CoolPandas. Alright, so before I get to the conclusion, I just want to cover two more things regarding the lens tint. The first is to say that I wanted to give you an idea of what these would look like if you were to wear them indoors. And the reason why is, since you are going to be wearing a pair of sunglasses inside, are you going to end up looking like that tryhard who wears dark sunglasses indoors? You know, look at me, I'm Mr. or Mrs. Cool. Alright, so how will that happen, or will that happen when you wear these? Well, to give you an idea, we're inside right now. It's a relatively bright room. That's why I film in here, by the way. And with that, they're at their lightest configuration, because although it's bright in here, again, it's artificial light, right? Okay, so if I were to put these on and look straight at you in this room, you would still be able to see the white of my eyes. And keep in mind, this is my skin tone. The reason I bring that up is because, as you know, the darker your skin, the more light that's absorbed. The more light that's absorbed means the less light that's behind the lens when you're wearing them. Hence, it's harder to see what's behind the lens. That would be your eyes, right? Alright, so now since we're talking about the whole color shifting of the lens, let me go ahead and show you what the promotional material that the seller used to go ahead and encourage me to buy these. And I'm going to go ahead and put that up right here for you to see it. Okay, so as you can see in there, you have them basically going from true sunglass dark to clear, basically safety glasses clear. And I'll let you know right now, this is as light as I can get these to go. Now, keep in mind that I'm holding these in front of a white background, that being the tile, of course, and you can still see the tint. Now, if these were got as clear as that photo I showed you would have you believe, you wouldn't be able to see any tint at all. So, yeah. All right. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's get to the conclusion. Would I recommend these? Yes, if you're looking for a pair of sunglasses that kind of shift from, you know, somewhat light to dark, these are good. But as we just said, these do not go the whole range from clear to dark. So if you were planning on maybe needing to use these like in a dark area, you're going to have to take these off. Just leave it at that. So, but if you're okay with that and you weren't planning on wearing these in the dark, then I would say they're a good buy. So let's talk about the price then. So these MSRP for $33. I would not recommend paying $33 for them. And again, it all depends on where you get them and who you get them from. And I'll say if you are at, say, a store and you just need to pick up a quick pair, you might be encountering something like this. Alright, and as you saw there, those don't have the color shifting ability. So with that in mind, these are a pretty good deal.